Welcome to Single Tree Nation. I'm your man, Charlie Eblin, the host and owner of Single Tree Woodfire Barbecue. We are here to build community through undeniable hospitality, storytelling, and the perfect plate of barbecue.
I drink too much. This beam helps me sleep. Them nightmares been keeping me up since I was 19. And I'm popping up perks to get right. 'Cause he's a pain in my leg and quiet my mind. 'Cause I've got one foot on the bar stool and the other in the grave. When you're saying the things I've been through, it ain't hard to act this way. Maybe someday I'll quit drinking before it gets much worse. 'Cause the devil's got my number. I pray Jesus calls me first.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages,
Man.
if you don't know, welcome to Single Tree Nation. And we have an amazing show tonight. One of my favorite artists, Mr. Sal Gonzales, has joined us.
What's up?
How's it going, boys? How's it going?
As always, we have Derry, our illustrious co-host.
What up, everybody?
So I've known Sal now for coming up on a couple of years, actually. And Sal has been playing music most of his life. But we met a couple of years ago starting at a Stop 22 event. We did monthly at the restaurant. And Sal would come and hang out, and we'd have a group of veterans that would rotate in and out and sing all night long.
Yeah, that's a great thing. That's still going. We've moved it. There's where is it? It's in Columbia
now, right?
Columbia, Tennessee is where
Yeah.
where Doc does it out
Yep.
there. Malachias Gaskin. Malachias.
Yep.
Did I get his last name right? Gaskin? Something.
I'm pretty sure that's right.
We're not
Okay.
going to fact check you. It's fine.
I'm screwing up his name. If I got it right, holy Christ, holy
Look, I
Jesus.
always screw up his first name, too, so I just call him Doc like you do.
Yeah. Let's just stick with Doc. Heroes Garden, that guy's awesome. He's kept it running, and that started as like Stephen Cochran's brainchild,
Yep.
as a place for veterans to have essentially a voice, just a place to go play their music.
Yeah.
We had a huge contingent of not just Marines, but all sorts of veterans that were in Nashville that wrote songs and played music in some capacity. And we sort of just wanted a place for us to be us, to just, fuck around, have a good time.
Yeah. It was a great time. We had a lot of fun. And then Cochran started
Building.
stepping and building and growing. And now he has a music label, Label 22.
Yep.
Which Sal is now
One of the
signed
artists,
to, one of the
yeah.
artists to.
Nice.
But Sal and I kind of hit it off over food because he and his family have a barilla taco recipe that is bar none, hands down, the number one uno top of the notch.
Yeah, it'll make you want to stab a homeless person.
There you go. We'll just go with that.
Yeah, there you go. That's it.
So, but Sal has a love for food as much as I have a love for music. And so we've just kind of hit it off, and I love this guy to death. His story, his sound, his music is absolutely incredible. I would go watch this man play anywhere, any day. So I'm glad you got a little bit of a taste. I'm sure we'll do others.
Yeah,
later.
I got goosebumps right off that. I'd never heard that, and I was just like, man, what's that song called?
That's called One Foot on the Barstool. That was,
All right.
that was going to be on this next album.
Okay,
So it's
well,
brand
I'll
new.
be looking for that one then. So that.
But it's registered and stuff. So this the one that I was playing before we cut the cameras on was like it's so hot off the presses. I haven't even sent all the final stuff in for
Gotcha.
just to make sure that nobody can steal it from me.
Gotcha.
I love it, man. I absolutely love it. We, yeah, we've had some time. I know you very well, so I'm going to ask questions that not everybody knows, and Derry will probably dive into that. Most people that don't know you or haven't spent time with you understand.
Let's do it.
So I'm going to start with an admission that I didn't realize until literally this afternoon when I was trying to find your audition clip, the first America's Got Talent audition.
Yeah.
And and you come on stage and you do your audition and you leave and the whole deal, you get your 4 yeses, which is unbelievable. And I want to dive into that. But the admission is that was in 2014. Am I right? Okay. So in 2014, I lived in Alabama with my wife and I would watch America's Got Talent. Now I would only watch the audition portions. That's the only time I really cared much about the show.
Yeah, that's the most fun.
Right?
Yeah.
That's the fun part, to see the crazy people and
Yeah,
to see
of
the
course.
people that
And
can
the
really
talented,
sing,
like, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So like it was, that part was really cool. But I can't tell you how many times me and you have hung out and in real life and had thousands of conversations.
Did you watch it and not realize it was me?
And I watched it today and was like, holy shit, that's Sal Gonzales. Holy shit, that's Sal. Wait a minute.
Hang on. My perspective, having never met you before, you sent it to me, and then I pull up to the podcast like, this doesn't look like the same guy. I was like, so in fairness, I can see how you gloss over that a little bit. You've lost a little weight,
Yeah, a
so
little bit,
you
little
look
bit.
like taking care of yourself. So
In my defense, me and Charlie met before I lost the weight.
Okay.
So I was
Yeah.
still pretty hefty. So he should have recognized.
okay, well then, sorry, I was trying. I
I should have recognized it. Like, there's not a question why. I should not have gone, okay. Yeah. So, all right. So I got to back it up, and I'm sure, our audience wants to know as well, but pre-2014.
Yeah.
So America's Got Talent.
Yeah.
What were you doing?
Well, I retired from the Marine Corps in December of 2005.
How long were you in?
2.5 years. I got out a little early. Oh, geez. Sorry. I'm sitting down. Most people can't. It's, I got a
My
fun
next question was going to be, why did you get out?
party trick.
It seems like a short stint.
Yeah. I spent 2.5 years in the Marine Corps.
So how did you get awarded the beautiful piece of hardware you carry around with you?
Yeah, I was in the Marine Corps a year and 10 days. I'd been in Iraq for 2 months. So, boot camp 3 months, school of infantry 3 months, like a 6-month workup.
Yep.
And like thrown right into the fire, baby.
Yeah.
So we get to a little town called Ar Ramadi, Iraq. I don't know if anybody's ever been. I don't recommend it
No, I'm fine.
for vacation or anything. But I was there for 2 months.
Beaches aren't real nice.
Actually, the it's where the Tigris splits into like the Euphrates, and it's really a beautiful part of Iraq. It really is beautiful. It's such a shame. It's so just blown up. Anyway, I was there 2 months, and in 2 months I got blown up 7 times. 6 of those times they were doing good to scratch my paint or pop a tire. That's not including the bombs that exploded in front of my vehicle, behind my vehicle, or hit another one of my vehicles. Those are all direct hits. And I don't even hold the record in my platoon. I got a buddy that's got hit 13 times.
Oh, man.
Survived all of them.
Okay.
And so on the 7th one, it was October 31st of 2004. And that'll be 20 years.
I was going to say, that's
year.
a 20-year anniversary.
So you were a machine gunner.
I was a machine
right?
gunner, sitting up on top of a Humvee.
Were you just doing mounted patrols?
We were doing a little bit of everything. So you would do like a week of guard duty on a base, then a week of patrols, then a week of quick reaction force, and then, whatever. So on different
normal rotation.
tasks.
Yeah.
And this particular mission was an escort mission. So I guess we were on patrol that week. And running through the main road right in the middle of town. It's called Route Michigan, and we would always kind of encounter some sort of resistance in the middle of town. It's where they could kind of disappear into the city. And what we would do is we would just, if we were escorting people, you don't want to stop and have a firefight. You're trying to get people into safety. So we would just push through, just guns blazing, and get to where we were going. And on this day, we got ambushed a little bit, but nothing big happened. We got to our base. We unloaded all our stuff. And as we came back, it takes us, a long military patrol. It takes you 10, 15 minutes to get everybody lined up and ready to go. And it's just heavy equipment and dumb people.
Yes. Yeah.
Anyway, it's besides the point. No, I'm joking. But we get out, and I'm the lead vehicle because it's my job to look out for bombs up front. And we're coming around this part of the city that's like my favorite piece of the city because it was a flower bed. It was right outside our base. You could have thrown a rock and hit our base. And we pull around it. And we were supposed to keep going, but there was a little army patrol here, and they go, "Hey, there's something in the road over here. Can you go around?" So as we started to come around, the flower bed went boom on the opposite side, and it ripped through my armor, and I woke up inside the Humvee, which was new, to say the least.
Gosh.
Yeah, I just figured I knew what I was doing.
Right.
I've blown up 6 times before this. So
Just going through the routine now?
yeah, I was just like, oh, gosh. Get up on my gun, return for... No. Literally, I just reached up, and I woke up in the Humvee, which is weird. Smoke everywhere. I couldn't really see what was going on, but we're trained as machine gunners to get up back on the gun and start returning fire.
Yep.
Because we're the biggest weapon on the battlefield. We
Right.
need, our Marines are counting on us for suppressive fire. So I lift myself up, and my right leg is doing everything that I'm telling it to, and my left leg is just kind of laying there. And as I lift myself up, I'm like, well, fuck it, I'll just lift. And my leg bends at midway up the shin. Oh. And I was like, all right, that's not normal. That's gonna leave a mark. So I laid back down and called for Doc and did what Marines do best. Let Navy take care of us, baby.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. Yeah. get that corpsman over there to wrap it up.
Corpsman up, baby.
Yeah.
Now, Doc Colada came through, pulled me out of the Humvee, popped me full of morphine, popped my buddy Kenny. He got hurt pretty bad too. He got peppered. He got hurt way worse than I did, considering he died 2 or 3 times on the operating table. They brought him back. He's real lucky to be alive, that guy. But they pulled us out of the Humvee and took us into a field hospital. I later learned that our lieutenant passed away in the explosion. And so
Was he your TC?
Yeah, he was our platoon commander, yeah. Yeah, and he just happened, we were lead vehicle, so he was going to be up front with me. So
Yeah.
I was his guy. And woke up. Well, they put me in a Humvee, took me to a field hospital. I was awake while they were working on me, like working on my leg. I kept trying to look down, but the corporate would be like, "No, you're good." No, look at
Look back up, man. Look back up.
And so they stick me on a helicopter, and I fall asleep, and I wake up in another like forward operating hospital, but it's in Al Asad Air Force Base. It's a pretty big, like, pretty nice hospital considering where it's located, and stabilized me there. And I think they induced me into a coma because I don't remember the next week.
Gotcha. Because you said you woke up in Maryland?
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I thought in your little bio that I saw on America's Got Talent, there's a quick gap to Maryland. And I was like, what? Like that just, I woke up in another continent, just.
That's the way it works.
Yeah.
Man.
And all of that, what I just told you, from being blown up to waking up in Maryland to what I remember is all flashes.
Right.
It's like right after the shock wore off and I started to feel pain and they were pulling me out of the Humvee right before they hit the morphine, just right before that, which I recommend morphine highly if you're ever traumatically injured in that way.
Yes.
Yes.
But
especially
it was like
a quick dose like that, I'm sure.
Oh,
like
yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
It was great. Oh no, but they pulled me out of the Humvee and my leg bent in a direction that again it normally didn't, and from that point on, it all just is come and go flashes, like working on me, wake up as they're carrying me to the next Humvee. I'm like high-fiving my buddies because I'm really high on morphine at this time. So I'm like, I'll be back in a week, bro.
Oh, gosh.
And then
they smile and nod.
they're like, good, fist bumps, all that stuff. Flash, wake up in the back of a like medical Humvee, close my eyes, flash, they're working on me. Can I see my leg? Nope. And I said, nope. And then close my eyes, flash, I'm on a helicopter. Close my eyes, flash, I'm talking to doctors. Close my eyes, and then they're loading me into a big helicopter, big CH-46. There's the dual propeller ones that the Navy uses. And they're asking me all of my information and my Kenny's information. And so I give them his stuff from what I know, like just his name. I don't know his social or any of that, but I give them what I know. And then I fall asleep, and that's the last thing I remember before I wake up in Maryland.
Gosh.
Now, and refresh my memory, I could be confusing you with another one of the guys that we had at Stop 22, but or it might be Cochran that I'm confusing it with, the story, but we drank a lot of bourbon when we were telling these stories. So Malachias, Doc, was it you or Cochran that you woke up on a helicopter and he was one of the medics?
That's Doc, or that's Cochran.
Was that Cochran?
wasn't me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cochran got blown up too.
Gosh.
And broke his back. And the guy Malachias that we're talking about, who's in Cookeville,
He's a Army medic, great dude.
super dude. When Cochran, who was a Marine,
What a way to
was
meet.
on one of the helicopters and getting worked on, Malachias was one of the doctors.
Yeah.
Or medics. So, yeah. But
Yeah, wild
so
story.
you
But before this, I played music my whole life. So like music was on my path anyway. Like I was going to play music for the rest of my life. 9/11 happened. I was like, I got to go join the Marine Corps and do my part.
is that what it was?
Absolutely. 100%. I was in high school when it happened. I know with the last name like Gonzales, you can't tell that I'm Hispanic, but both my parents immigrated here, and I know just like how lucky we are to be born on this side of the line. Like I got my mom on a waitress's salary was able to help raise us and like still send money home and to help feed our family back there. And it's wild. It's wild how lucky we are to live
Man,
in
where's
such a great place.
where's mom and dad from?
Mom is from Guadalajara and dad is also from there, but he didn't grow up there. He was primarily raised in Tijuana.
Okay.
My grandfather was a jack of all trades. He did everything, And the last thing he did before he retired and started the restaurant was he worked for the U.S. government as a concrete man. So he would cross the border every day into San Diego and help build all the sidewalks and all the stuff. So if you ever walked on a piece of pavement in San Diego, my granddaddy probably helped pour that.
Pour that concrete.
That's awesome.
I love it.
And when he was done, after 20 years of service, they gave him a green card. And so he crossed the whole family over and started a restaurant in East Los Angeles, and we've been going since the 70s. Still
And that restaurant's still open today,
still open
right?
to this day.
And what's the name of that restaurant?
Birreria de Don Boni.
Okay, can you give me the American version of that for the rest of our audience?
A birreria is a place that makes birria tacos.
Okay.
And de Don Boni it means, like, my grandfather's name was Bonifacio, and
Okay.
people called him Don Boni. Don is an honorific, like a sir or a boss sort of a thing.
Yep.
And so they call him Don Boni. So hence Birreria de Don Boni. So
Love it.
Don Boni's Birreria.
Yeah, that's what I'll get the basic white guy version of that. So that's
Yeah.
what I was going to go.
And so who runs that restaurant today?
My aunt.
Okay.
My aunt and my uncle both run it to this day, and they're doing
And it's right outside of LA?
It's right in East LA. It's
Oh, it's in
literally
East
it's
LA.
across the river from downtown.
Okay.
So if it's right next to a place called Mariachi Plaza that's like the center of Hispanic culture in East Los Angeles.
Okay.
It's home, baby. I love
All right.
that. Love
So,
that place.
Jason Berkowitz, Troy Hooper, you both live in LA. I expect you to be going to this restaurant and sending me platters of this in the mail.
We have two different kinds. We have goat and beef. We added beef. My grandfather is upset, I promise. He's on the other side cursing us because we caved.
So traditionally, it was always meat, always goat?
Yeah, traditionally
Okay.
it's been goat. My grandfather was like, we're never going to do beef. We're never going to do that. But ever since the birria tacos went viral and stuff on Instagram, people want beef. Not everybody can take the taste of goat because it's a little gamey.
Yep.
And not everybody digs it. But I do. I love it.
It's good. It's good. It's got to be cooked right.
Yeah, but the beef,
it's good.
Our beef is good too. So
It's just, but to me, goat's like venison. It's like deer meat,
yeah,
right? So
I'm
like,
into
if you don't cook it right,
yeah,
you
for
know,
sure.
then it tastes like crap.
Yeah,
right.
And
You know.
you're exactly right. It's a little greasier, but you're exactly right. You got to treat it right. You got to do it a certain way.
Yeah. It's like oxtails. You know, you like oxtails?
Yeah, love them.
It's so oxtails. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's the tail,
Right, yeah.
but it's got a kind of a greasier flavor, if you can call it that.
Yeah,
But if you cook it right, it just kind of amplifies all the other flavors along with it.
yeah. And so grew up in that restaurant, listening to the jukebox. The only thing that they had in English was like the Beatles and the La Bamba soundtrack. So, and oddly enough, I wanted to be Richie Valens because I love that movie. So I was just playing that on repeat when I was out at the restaurant. And
Somebody in the family's back to like, if you don't quit. Like,
no, they were happy with it. They're like,
Okay,
whatever. Fine.
okay.
I'm sure the employees were
Yeah, okay,
real
there
upset
you
with me.
That is outstanding.
I know my sisters always yelled at me for singing everything that was on television, like if it was a jingle or if it was a thing, just anything.
Yeah.
A theme song. If it had lyrics that I could sing, I was gonna sing that
Right.
motherfucker. And now I'm getting my own taste of my own medicine because my son and my daughter both do that. They just sing constantly all around it. I love it. I try and foster it. But going back, that's why I joined the Marine Corps. Like I knew I was very lucky to live in this country, and so I went off, joined the Marine Corps, got injured, but I was always going to do music. Music was always the thing.
Anybody in the family musical?
My dad was a bass player growing up, and so I think he had aspirations of being some big like Los Lobos type band thing, but he had me when he was 22, and that was just like, got to go to work.
Yeah.
So I don't think he ever resented me because of it, but it was always music was never like
Not a focus.
Super not a focus.
Yeah.
Not until I started really showing an interest, and he was like, here's whatever. Here's a guitar. Learn. Here's what I know, which was very basic. When I turned 13, I've been singing in choir and stuff up until that point. Played in bands all through high school. Joined the Marine Corps. Had an acoustic guitar that I would take with me everywhere, out on the field and all over the place with me. I was that dude. I was the annoying kid with the guitar.
Yeah.
But if you had a request, I'd fucking learn it. It didn't matter if it was heavy metal or country music or what it was. If you had a request, I'd try and learn it. And
that's why you can play anything.
I can try.
Damn near immediately. We would have people during Sal's set. He would ask people in a restaurant to just pick a song, and it's just like he's been singing it for years.
That's great.
I mean, it's incredible. So, all right. So you get out of the Marine Corps, and that was in
05, 06.
05, 06. Okay. So we got about a 10-year period, almost 8-year period, right? So before America's Got Talent is a reality.
I moved here. I had a buddy that I was in the hospital with named Ryan. He's missing an arm. I don't know if you've met him. Anyway, he's him and I were buddies in the hospital, and he goes, "Hey man, I got this. They do this big country music festival out here in Tennessee. If you want to come visit, it's called CMA Fest." And I was like, "Sure." So I came out, fell in love with the city, and to be honest, LA was just didn't feel like home anymore. And I know that I was the one that was different and not so much the town that had changed.
Yeah.
But when you're so closely removed from getting shot at through alleyways and rooftops, like driving around East LA was just driving around and having a panic attack half the time. There's always trash in the road, and there's always people walking around alleys. It's so anxiety inducing. So, and I had no idea what any of these mental health, words were. I just knew it didn't feel good.
Right. Right.
So I dipped. I packed all my stuff and I moved to Tennessee in summer of 06. And I started drinking a lot because all of a sudden I didn't have family looking over my shoulder, telling me what I should and shouldn't be doing. And a real good excuse of extracurricular activities. I mean, fucking what a rock star is known for, right?
Right.
So I drank for a long time. It's when I met Cochran, and both him and I were drinkers at the time, which if you knew him at the time, you can imagine how I was as well. But somewhere around 08, 09, I went on a trip with Wounded Warrior Project, like this thing called Soldier Ride. They put you on a bicycle and you ride a bike with a bunch of other veterans. And I realized that they were all doing the same stuff I was doing. Like they're all drinking themselves to sleep, and they're all like moving away from their families, and just all the things, all the typical things that are associated with post-traumatic stress, like survivor's guilt, fucking depression, anxiety, weight gain, self-medication, self-isolation, like you name it. They were doing all the same stuff I was doing, and they didn't have the great excuse of trying to be a rock star. And for me, I wouldn't lift a finger to help myself. I don't have a great opinion of myself, to be totally honest. And but all of a sudden, it wasn't me; it was my friends. And for them, I'd walk through fire, I'd walk through hell in a gasoline-covered suit twice. And so we slowly but surely, through like peer support, just helping each other out, started getting better. I didn't quit drinking. I'm not crazy. But I don't drink to hide from anything anymore. I've replaced a lot of these addictions with other addictions, like bicycling and different things that I really enjoy. And that was a real big turning point. And from that point on, I just started playing any charity that would have me, anything that was raising money for kids or veterans, preferably both. Or
Right. You started working for Wounded Warrior Project too.
Yeah. Shortly before America's Got Talent, like in 2012, is when I got hired with them.
And what was your job title at
I am still currently a spokesperson for them.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Nice.
it's my job if they ever have like a big event here in town where they're going to have a lot of press.
Yeah.
If we have warriors there, we generally don't want to bother our warriors with sticking a camera in their face.
Yep.
Half the time they're there with their family. They're just trying to have a good time. So
Right.
literally, that's my job. I know how to tell my story in a way that doesn't affect my mental health. This is not going to make me go climb into a bottle at the end of it.
Right.
And so I'm able to, and I'm media trained. So when I want to, I can watch my mouth and not curse.
And you can turn it on and like there it
Exactly.
is.
I can
Like,
turn it on and I can turn it here. I haven't worried about it because I know Charlie, but if I'm
I
watching,
know
like when I
Charlie.
played the Grand Ole Opry, in May, that was
Congratulations, epic fucking achievement.
Thank you, man.
Bro,
Thank you.
like for real.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
That's
That's
insane.
cool.
That's
really cool.
That's a big feather in the cap. It was a fun night. It was cool to be like there.
Who'd you play with?
Trace Adkins, Craig Morgan.
Oh, geez. That's a great group right there.
Austin Snell, a girl named Hunter Girl. She was awesome.
Yeah.
By the way. Austin
Hunter Girl's
Snell-
from here.
She went to MTSU, didn't
She went to MTSU, yeah.
Austin Snell's a Navy vet, I think.
I believe you're right.
Yeah. It was a cool lineup. It was a fun lineup. It was nice meeting everybody. It was fun. being
Craig
there.
Morgan's almost 60 trying to re-enlist or whatever.
He
it is.
has.
Yeah,
He's
like that.
still serving in like guard.
Yeah.
Well, that's the only place you can serve
Yeah.
at that age.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Like,
What?
yeah, like
Yeah.
just a few months ago, he
He's still
redid
drilling.
the thing. Yeah.
At 60?
Yeah. You know, whatever, 58 or whatever.
Oh, yeah, I'm rounding up. But like late 50s, and like this was just a few
Is he
months
enlisted?
ago.
No.
He's an officer, right?
Yeah. He's been an officer for
okay.
a while. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we know that.
Yeah, of course.
They don't quite do the same thing.
Yeah, it's an awful lot of paperwork though to be doing at 60.
It is, but
I'm
those
just messing with you, Craig. Take me on the road. Let me sing back up. No. But yeah, when I was at the Opry, like literally that's the three things that was going through my head was like, don't let this giant thing get in the way of doing good. Like it's not a big deal. It's just another show. Number two, whatever you do, don't screw up. Like don't screw the pooch.
Right.
And number three, don't say fuck. It was literally the three things going through my head the whole time I was there.
Yeah.
See, that's for me. That's like the don't hit the tree. What tree? And then you just focus on the tree. Like I
Yeah.
can't like don't say that because all I'm with the I was
Fuck. Oh, I mean, I can only. So, all right. We are bouncing all over the fucking world here. But
America's Got Talent. So I'm playing music. Stuff's happening. Like I write that song Heroes. And that got a lot of attention in town from a lot of labels and stuff. But I was you know, hefty boy, you know, 275, 300 pounds at one time. And so I wasn't doing myself any favors. I could sing real good and I could write an okay song. I say okay, now I'm much better. But at the time, it was about 50-50 whether the song was going to come out good or not.
Right.
Now I've got a bigger percentage. It's like 75. But still, every now and again, I write a good turd. You got to write the turds. The turds are the ones that help you get the gold, man.
yeah.
But nothing was really happening for me, and I had this manager who I was working with, and he got a phone call from ABC, and they go, "Hey, does Sal want to be on America's Got Talent?" And he called me. He goes, "Do you want to be on America's Got Talent?"
Yes,
and I was
I do.
like, "Yes." Caveat: I don't want to stand in line all day. I will audition for producers. I will do all of the steps you want me to do. I just don't want to come to a cattle call and be waiting in line with a bunch of folks. Give me an appointment.
Right.
Let me show up somewhere and just play when I get there instead of having to wait fucking 6 hours or whatever.
Yeah.
And so they said, yeah. And they gave me an audition. I showed up at this time. They made me wait a little bit because of course they did.
Yeah.
But
of course.
but it was like, you know, a couple hours of my time. They go, awesome, thank you, we'll let you know. And a couple months later, they called me. They go, hey, if you want to be on the show, you're more than welcome to come and audition and be.
So you do so it's and I think I've heard that before. Like, it's not when you go in front of, like, you didn't go in front of Simon. You had what?
Stern,
Yeah,
Heidi Klum,
Howie Mandel,
Mel B, and Howie.
yeah, Mel B. Yeah. All right. So you had those four.
Yeah.
That is, you've already been approved multiple times, or you went through one casting?
Twice. I was approved twice before I met those judges.
So before you walk on stage, you've already gone through 2 rounds of
auditions. Yeah.
Auditions. So the thousands of people that come to those have been whittled down.
man.
Yeah.
So think about that for a second. That's I mean, it's just an absolutely astonishing feat, because there's, I mean, probably what, hundreds of thousands of people that check the box and say, "Ooh, I want to apply."
Oh,
and,
sure.
And
Oh,
just
sure.
get dismissed because
And show up for those cattle calls, like he's saying, just like
Yeah.
hoping to get drawn in.
and sit there for 12, 15, 18 hours. And then, you know, they're like, "Yeah, what do you do for a living?
Pass. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's keep doing that."
Hey, congrats on not getting knocked up by Nick Cannon, though. So
I would have. He had a chance. Nick Cannon's a good looking dude.
I'm not taking away from that, but like he has all the baby mamas.
Definitely,
Like
he definitely
he's-
moisturizes.
Yeah.
That dude couldn't pull out of a paper bag. Real talk.
No. Yeah, what's he got? 7 kids, 8 kids, something like that?
Bet he doesn't know how to back up a trailer in insurance.
yeah.
No, he don't. No.
I was thinking it was double
So-
digits, but yeah.
So you go on, and then you made it through until
Judgment week.
was it like the week before the last week
No, so it's
of live shows or whatever they call the live
yes,
shows or whatever it
exactly,
is?
yes.
Right.
So I got on, and then I didn't have another round of like auditions in front of the judges until Judgment week. So I only had that one performance, and then the second performance is when I was kicked off.
So that wasn't, and you got to refresh my memory, man. We're going 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Right. So for that show, at that point, it's not the viewers that are judging. It's truly
it's still the judges.
just the judges, right?
Yeah. And I think honestly, it's mostly the producers.
Yeah.
It's the people in the back. Like there's some people that I think the judges truly, really enjoy, and those people get like that golden ticket, that golden buzzer thing. But for the most part, I think the producers are kind of
They're in the ear going, yeah, no,
yeah. They're like, this is a better
this is a better fit.
idea or whatever.
Here,
Yeah.
we want to go down this road.
Or whatever. Yeah.
This is better for TV,
yeah.
whatever it may be.
All I know is that they let another musical act play their own music, and they didn't let me play mine. And I submitted mostly original music,
Yeah.
but they're like, just for fun, throw in a cover song. And so I threw in the cover song, and that's the one they chose.
For the first
For all of
audition?
it, for all of it. Yeah, I would have only played my own music had I the opportunity. I've got my own music. I could play hours of just my own music.
Yeah.
So
Do you think, and this is, you know, it's 6, 1/2 dozen, another, doesn't really matter now, but do you think if you went today and auditioned and did the exact same thing, do you think the outcome would be the same or different?
different, because I know how to play the game now. At the time, I was still pretty raw in the way that I lived life. Like I was an angry dude. I didn't show it because nobody likes a crotchety one-legged dude. But I was angry, and I would let the anger get the best of me a lot. And so when I was on the show and my ideas weren't being taken seriously, I was like, well, go fuck your mother.
Yeah.
So I wasn't the easiest person to deal with at the time, and I'm sure that's exactly why I didn't make it through. You know, I
You
don't
didn't?
get me wrong, the producer lady that I got into it with was being a real jerk,
Yeah.
but I could have been easier to deal with. I could have helped them make good television instead of trying to tell the truth.
I got you. Yeah.
if that makes any sense.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. So you get done with that. You've been playing music. You work for Wounded Warrior.
Still working for Wounded Warrior.
Right. You recently, over the last year, got with Cochran and now are with Label 22.
Yep.
Tell me about this album that you've been working on recently.
Oh, dude. So I've got 3-4 full songs in the can that I did with a producer in town named Bill McDermott. And I really like those songs, but I wanted to go in a slightly different direction with it. I didn't want it to be just like middle of the road country music. Mm-hmm. So I found a producer by the name of Jim Johnson who had a background in like hip hop and rap. And I mean, he's got, just look him up, Jim Johnson. He's got tons of platinum records. He's Beyonce, Carrie Underwood, like Lil Wayne, Usher, Mr. Worldwide, what's his name? Pitbull. Love that. Like
Mr. 305.
Hang on, I like that the hip shake came in like Pitbull. Yeah, like that's right.
You can't do Pitbull without the hip shake, Mr. Worldwide, baby. Shout out Pitbull. You know what it's at.
Pitbull just did a
Shout
thing
out Chris
with
Daniels down in Miami. Shout out to the whole crew down there. I got to go write at Pitbull's studio down there. Yeah, with a bunch of his producers and stuff. It was fun.
Nice.
He just did a collab with Dolly Parton.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pitbull did?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I heard it like this week. Like it's new.
That dude's gonna be Sultan of Puerto Rico at some point. I promise. I promise. That guy's
He's gonna take over. Huh?
Yeah, he's just gonna take over.
That's great.
That guy's awesome. I love that guy.
He's going to be Sultan of Puerto Rico?
That's the guy. Yeah, exactly.
I thought you said he was going to sell us Puerto Rico.
No.
He's gonna be assaulted in Puerto Rico. Like, well, that's okay, but
No, he's a beloved figure. No.
yeah, he is. He absolutely is.
Okay.
I still
All right.
like the hip shake. Like,
Hey, who knows? Big Papi got shot in the Dominican.
He sure did.
You know?
Gosh,
and he's like a national treasure down there. So
Yeah.
I guess nobody's safe.
no.
Nobody's
But
safe.
I guess when you mess with some drug dealer's old lady, that tends to happen.
It changes things.
It's
It
different
changes
trajectories.
things.
Just like
All right, so every week on our show, we do a segment.
Yeah.
Okay, and one of and this particular segment is called Mac or Beans.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have a topic for Mac and Beans this week?
no, I don't.
Okay.
I'll
So
be
we're
real honest. I forgot we even had that as a segment this week. So like,
So this is gonna be right out of the seat of our pants
fine.
here, okay? But it's a this or that segment. You know, you got to pick what you like better.
Okay.
All right. So the first question is simply just that: macaroni and cheese or beans.
Mac. Always Mac. Almost anything wins over beans. I'm a bad Mexican.
wow.
I was just getting ready to say that's kind of sacrilegious, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it was worse. I just got my Hispanic card back because I finally started enjoying spicy food.
Oh,
Yeah. I really like spicy food now. So
I got something for you.
yeah.
Yeah.
I dig it.
I got something for you. We just started doing we call it the Dirty Dozen Challenge.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a rack of ribs.
Okay.
All right. A portion of mac and cheese and a piece of cornbread. Okay. You have 1 hour to eat it all. And
Okay.
you can have any soda or any draft beer you want to drink. No water, no tea, no milk.
Okay.
And it's kind of spicy.
Okay.
As, as Trent's giggling over there in the background. he's like,
I'm gonna talk to
yeah.
my shameless homies in California. I got a few of them that really, really enjoy the what I like to call the challenging spicy.
Yeah, it's
Because
challenging spicy.
I like.
Yeah.
I don't like the hurt your
You like
booty
spicy.
hole spice. You know, I like the spice that
This-
adds to
What about
flavor.
can hear your heartbeat in your eardrum spicy? Because we've done that too. So
Yeah.
that's
Well, that's past the burn your butthole.
Yeah,
At this
man.
point,
Yeah.
you're not worried about how bad your
Yeah.
butthole's burning. If you're
I was
literally
pacing this room and I could
hearing
hear
your
my
heartbeat.
heartbeat up here, and I was like,
Yeah.
this is not going
Yeah, it's
well.
brutal.
Yeah, you're
No,
blowing
no.
an O-ring out. It's too much.
Listen, I'll try like a sauce or something, but I don't think I'm going to take the challenge. I have friends who will though. We'll fly those dudes out. We'll make it
Let's
happen.
make it happen. Let's make it.
We'll do a whole
so
video. I'll talk shit and play music the whole time.
I'm in Boston a couple months ago, and I'm talking to a buddy that we're at a meeting, and we're talking and going back and forth, and and we came up with this. All these guys have these food challenges, right? And you gotta have this 12-pound hamburger and fries and this milkshake and this, that, and the other, and he's got a wing restaurant in Washington State, and his is it's a spicy chicken wing, and how many ever you eat is you have to beat the record, right? So that's where we started. We started with, if you could beat the record of number of ribs eaten, then you win the challenge. Yeah. If not, then you don't win the challenge.
Totally.
It has morphed. The week I got back, I brought some ribs in here with my hot barbecue, and we all went nuts over them. It was like, oh man, these are really good. I was like, but the sauce that I'm making for them is just a smidge or 20 hotter.
Okay.
Right.
Just a little too much. Got it.
It's
pinky slipped. Got it.
Yes.
Tracking.
Lots.
Yeah.
But the mac and cheese is hot too.
Oh, everything's hot. How about the cornbread? Is
The cornbread's not. No, the cornbread is a sweet cornbread.
The cornbread is your only reprieve.
The only one.
Okay.
Because all your beverages are carbonated as well.
Right.
Oh, of course, yeah.
You can't have a non-carbonated beverage, so
Yeah.
it just kind of inflames everything in your mouth. Yeah. So
How many people had to do it?
I've had a handful, 4 or 5 do it.
Okay.
Only one has been able to complete it.
Okay. That's what I was wanting, the completed number.
Only one has been able to complete it. And I'm not real sure that there's anything in this world spicy enough that gentleman could not eat.
For sure.
Okay.
For sure.
It was.
I know a few of those people.
Yeah, it was one of those things. Like, I mean, just like we're sitting here talking.
Yeah.
He's just talking
Putting
to
them
us
down.
the whole time.
Yeah.
And just
Sip of a drink,
Not even
keep on
like,
going.
not, no, wow.
Yeah.
just like.
That's awesome.
And I'm like, you want something to drink?
No.
I watched my uncles
Okay.
eat jalapenos and onions like they were apples. They just
I can do that.
They'd walk through the
Yeah.
kitchen and
Yeah.
I'm like, what is wrong
what's-
with you? Are you a goat? What?
Yeah. I love that
Pico
shit.
on the go.
Yeah, I'm the same way though. I love that. I can do jalapenos to me, or it's like a step above black pepper. Like it's just not really that.
Yeah.
They're just not that spicy to me.
Okay.
Now, there's
Some of
there's
them are.
some
Depends where you get them, but yeah.
Yeah, there's some. If you bite into it and you get the rind and the membrane,
Yeah,
and the
that membrane
seeds and
inside,
all the
yeah.
stuff inside of it, what's even worse is if you blister the skin and you get all the oils to come out. That's where the heat is.
I find generally the further to the West Coast you get, the spicier the peppers get just in the grocery store.
Probably true.
Because I've tried making my mom's enchiladas here with the poblano peppers that I get here, and they're fine. It's fine, but when I go home, it's got like
It's got a kick.
Got a
It's
little
got
oomph to
it's
it.
got a little
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, because a poblano technically is really not much less spice than a jalapeno.
Yeah. It's not.
It's about the same.
Yeah,
But
I like
if
it.
you go to the store here,
Exactly.
it's not the same at all.
It's my daughter. You want to do it?
Oh, she's calling?
Yeah.
Oh, you want to talk to his daughter?
Hello.
We are now.
Hey, what you doing?
I'm on a podcast. Welcome to Single Tree Nation.
Oh, sorry. Then I'm gonna go.
No, you don't want to join us?
No, because I have something important to talk about.
Okay.
and I can talk later.
Yeah. I'll get you after the show.
Okay, bye.
Bye. That was uneventful.
Yeah. Well,
Gosh.
About a month ago, Derry's mother called
That was great.
in the middle of our show.
nice.
So we had his mother.
It was
as a-
full
as a
panic
guest-
immediately. You could
guest
tell she
appearance
did
on the
not want
show.
to do that. So
And she
that's-
was like, "Oh, So now when people call him, we
Oh,
we answer most
geez.
of
I
the
told
time.
you about my phone. I would have FaceTimed my brother. He has his own podcast called the Gaslight Boys Podcast.
the gaslight voice.
Gas-
I am
Gaslight
gonna
Boy,
have to.
yeah.
I'm gonna have to look that up now.
Yeah, they're toxic. They're great.
That is
They're
outstanding.
toxic. They're great.
Yeah,
I love them.
that
I
is
love 'em.
outstanding. All right, so we got this or that. So you said Mac all the way.
Mac all the way. Mac over beans.
We halfway pulled your Mexican card. Okay, so music wise, you're more, I don't even know how I would describe, because I don't describe you as country. I feel like you're like a soulful Southerner almost. Like it doesn't, just like your voice to me seems more, it's just got you just got some like real soul in your voice. So from a music standpoint, would you rather be classified in like a soul hip hop category, or more of or not hip hop, more like soul R&B, or more of a country pop kind of?
I would consider myself more of like a country Americana,
Okay.
like singer-songwriter-y type stuff.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I got a tattoo here of a stool, a microphone, an amp, and a guitar. And my philosophy in life is if you can't make a song sound good with this setup, it's probably not a very good song. And mainly because I like stories.
Right.
I like storytelling music. I like songs that tell me something about your soul. Like I don't get me wrong, everybody likes the upbeat music, the stuff that makes you dance, and that's all great, though that's amazing, but I'm here for the music that makes you not feel so alone.
Yeah. So get into the music part of, and kind of piggyback on what he said. Give me some of the influences you got. Give me some older influences, because you said you had the Beatles in the restaurant when you were a kid.
Yep.
But give me some influences, maybe pre America's Got Talent, and then give me either a current or more modern influence as well.
Yeah. So pre like just childhood was a lot of the Beatles. Just every form of the Beatles. It's everything except the psychedelic stuff.
Okay.
Really not a giant fan of the Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club and the Yellow Submarine.
That's where I was going with. I didn't
know.
I didn't want to put words in your mouth.
No, you're right. You're right. Yeah. There is one that's across the universe that is from that era that I love still. This is still just a beautiful Jaguru Deo. Nothing's gonna change my world. I love that because it's a Buddhist teaching. Nothing's gonna change my world. Like I talk about it a lot with veterans and mental health. It's like you got to decide that you're gonna have a good day. And not let anything change that day, no matter what it is. Like it could be your ex-wife calls you and is just getting on your nerves and everything, and you got to decide that you're going to let her ruin your day. If you decide that, then cool. Just make sure you understand that you're the one making that decision, not her, not the circumstance. You. So anyway, but moving on, a lot of like Straight Cats when I was younger. So like. Brian Setzer, you guys know,
yep.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then obviously your rap, your rock, all of the hard rock that was in the 90s from Rage Against the Machine.
I was going to ask what's hard rock in the 90s, because the other day I'm in the shop, we got a little bit of music playing, a Zeppelin song comes on. And I said, anybody even know who this is? And this one kid pops up and goes, yeah, it's Led Zeppelin. And I said, who is that? And this other kid goes, I don't know, kind of like a soft rock, from the past. And I didn't know how to take that. I was like, soft rock? You haven't listened to a whole lot of it. But anyway, so when you said hard rock in the 90s, I was interested in where you were going to go with that, because
Yeah, harder rock, Metallica's, all that stuff.
Yeah.
All that stuff. Motorheads. I mean, you can get real deep into to the heavy stuff, but again, I was always much more into the storytelling stuff. So again, Metallica has great storytelling songs. Rage Against the Machine has great storytelling songs. Red Hot Chili Peppers, before they got sober, oddly enough, had great storytelling songs. Once they got sober, all of them just Psychic Spice from China, Dream of, I have no idea what you're trying to talk about, bro.
He just throws words out there. It's wild.
And I love you, and I'm sure he is telling some sort of story from his point of view, but I can't put it together. It's too esoteric for me. But Usher, stuff like that when I was growing up. And then the big band that was like the real big influence on me that I listened to a lot of, that like just was all of high school for me, was Sublime. When you grab a hold of me, tell me that I'll never be set free. I'm a parasite, creeping, crawling, staring through the night. 2 pints of booze. Tell me, are you a bad fish too? Are you a bad fish too, babe? Ain't got no quarrels with God. Ain't got no time to grow. Lord knows I'm weak. Won't somebody give me off of this grief? Anyway, lots of that stuff, and then, you know, then there's always the you know, your Green Days and all the things, and then in high school, junior sophomore year, I heard Garth Brooks do "If Tomorrow Never Comes."
Yeah. I'm not a huge Garth Brooks fan, but if you ever get the chance to see him live,
He's the best, dude.
that is so an insane show, start to finish.
He's so good.
I'm talking from the moment that big G pops up on the screen, and it's the lowercase G, but I mean it's huge, you know, and he comes out, and it's go right then, and I mean, and it's wild. So anyway, yeah, so.
Yeah,
I feel like he's always got one song that hits somebody somewhere, even if it's not, you know, like there's just that one. It's this one for you, it's this one for him. It's just like, man. So
he's got so many good songs, man. Just 3:30 in the morning, not a soul in sight. City's looking like a ghost town on a moonless summer night. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm impressed.
Thunder roll. Thunder roll. Shit, I don't know how to Yeah.
Look, he's gonna go home tonight and go, God damn it!
Of course,
You're
not wrong. That's
He
exactly
is
what's
going to
gonna
get
happen.
home, and he will know that progression. Yeah, just like that's great.
Yeah, totally.
I'll get a text tomorrow with a video of it.
Yeah. I got it.
Put this at the end.
I love it. And if you do that, I promise I won't be upset.
Yeah.
That's outstanding.
That stuff, and then I just dove deep. Once I found country music, it reminded me so much of like not only the stuff that I like to listen to and like the punk music and the emo music and the ska music that I was listening to, but it had this like almost Mexican influence, like the stuff that I would listen to with my mom when she was playing corridos about living on a ranch somewhere in Mexico and your wife leaving you or your girlfriend leaving you or whatever. I was like, it's the same music minus the accordion and tuba. Like it's the same shit. Yeah. You just add a steel guitar and you know you're good to a fiddle and you're good to go.
Oh yeah.
And even you can really hear it in a lot of like the Marty Robbins stuff. Out in the West Texas town of El Paso, I fell in love with a Mexican girl, you know. Or out on the bed of the roses.
As soon as he said that, I heard the horns right after.
Yeah, that's exactly the part.
I was like, oh,
out in the West Texas, we.
I love it. But it's funny.
It's the same thing that like Vicente Fernandez does. Like once you start realizing all the stuff, it lines up really great.
So I have quite the number of Hispanic students in class, right? And so I'm always excited about what we do. And I'll play music just kind of in the background, like when we're out building whatever. Yeah. And I was like, this is probably 2 years ago. I was like, hey guys, what do I need to listen to? And like, I don't know. And they're wanting to give me current Hispanic stuff. I'm like, no. Give me like what I can hear, like if y'all are just out jamming. And he goes, old school corridos. Is that how you say that?
Yeah, old school corridos, yeah.
And when I tell you that I just hit this playlist, and you will watch every Hispanic kid, especially the ones who don't know I'm about to do it, when they hear that go, they all kind of stop and turn, and just for that moment. But what's great, and what they don't want to have happen, and all the white kids won't admit it, they get all excited. See, look, all the white kids go excited, and I walk up to them and be like, hey, what's this make you want to do? And they kind of look at you like, what? Like, why would this music make me want to do anything? I'm like, you want chips and salsa, don't you? Yeah, I do. But I've grown to love this music.
It's
I
like
know who Vicente Fernandez is now. Like I know, and I'm telling you, I love it, and I don't know what they are saying, and I love it. There's a feel behind it. It's a feel that you can like. Yeah. I know the emotion of this song. There's one about a lonely cat in Chihuahua. All right, and it's called El Gato in the cat in Chihuahua is what it's called. Lonely guy loses his thing, and the cat's what he sees, and I could feel the sadness in that song, and I just knew it was sad. And oh yeah, like this one kid's like, I've cried to that song before, and I was like, that's exactly so.
Some of them,
anyway.
so you're exactly right.
Yeah,
Some of those songs are exactly that. I'm about to burst your bubble. You're probably not gonna be able to listen to that playlist again. Half of those songs are about drugs.
I figured that.
Okay. But half of those songs are about selling drugs and dealing drugs and moving like just weight across the border. There's one song is my favorite. It's my favorite one because I used to listen to it in like the early 90s. As a child, my mom would play this. So dude.
Okay, let's hear it.
I fucking found out about it, I'm so sorry. I just smacked your thing. It's called Mis Tres Animales, My Three Animals. And he talks about his goat, his rooster, and his parrot. And each of those things is a euphemism for one drug or another, be that marijuana, cocaine, or heroin. And the line is, I live off my three animals. There's one line that's just the most gangster thing I've ever heard. He goes, I sell so many animals that I sell more animals than McDonald's sells cheeseburgers. Vivo de tres animales que quiero como mi vida. Con ellos traigo dinero y ni les compro comida. Basically, he's saying, I live off these three animals and I love them very much. And they gain me money and I don't even have to feed them.
I'm telling you.
But it's all said in euphemism. Mind you, 2-year-old Sal's like, oh, I live on a ranch. 5-year-old Sal's like, yeah, let's have a good time. I will
say this. I trust my students enough every now and then they'll come back, hey, you can't play this one. And so I just have to hit skip.
Yeah, there's some you just got to go. There's a couple
I don't know it. They just have to tell me that one.
Mis Tres Viejas is another one. It's the same thing.
I'm glad I know I can trust my guys now because they'll tell me every now and then. Okay.
No, take that off.
All right. So
if mom hears this, she's going to.
I'm going to start running my list by Sal. Like, hey, these good for class? Right. Yeah, no, not that one.
No, because there's some that are great. There's some that are awesome. You know what I mean? Like, there's some really good ones. Vicente Fernandez has some really great ones. Like, Vicente Fernandez has a great one about Guadalajara, which is the state where my parents are from.
Okay.
And it's just a great, it's a great song. It makes you like super proud to like be from there, and the way he does it is great. It's awesome. Shame he passed away. Rest his soul. He before he died, he loved performing so much that in his home he had an amphitheater built, and he would have people come almost every day, and not every day. Some days he wouldn't feel like it and he wouldn't come out. He'd come out and he'd say, thank you for coming, whatever. But most nights he would come out and do a small concert for everybody.
Just whoever was there.
Just whoever to the people that are coming. It was like a tourist attraction almost. Man. Like that dude, he just loved doing it. There's stories of him like drinking tequila for, an hour before his concert, because that's how he would warm up his voice. And there's wild stories. There's some great Hispanic music.
We always wrap up the show with a Friday feel good.
Okay.
Okay. But before we get to that, did you have one? Because I kind of have something.
Hey, you got one locked and loaded? Go for it.
Okay.
I was going to shoot from the hip. I felt good about it. But you go right ahead.
All right. Save it.
Yeah, I got you.
Put it in the pocket.
I got you. Yeah.
So, and it kind of ties into what you were talking about earlier. Like, you've always known that you were going to do music, right? Not everybody can wake up in the morning and go, I know this is what I was meant for, and this is what I'm going to do, and this is how my life is going to be, right? So the Friday feel good for me is simply to believe in yourself. Don't allow the outside world to not let you believe in yourself, to knock you down, to knock you back. The military, when you have the PTSDs and the things that happen to you, and you come back and you have the survivor's guilt, and I had some guilt for getting hurt in garrison while my unit was deployed, or before my unit was deployed, and then they got deployed and I had to stay home.
Yeah.
And people don't understand that your buddies are getting shot at and you're sitting in your barracks playing PS2 and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yep.
Right. But if you allow your mental to stay there, then it's going to be a bad day. Right.
Yep.
So believe in yourself, believe that you have the power to wake up and put one foot in front of the other. And if you do that, then you're going to be better than you were yesterday. And if you need help and if you need someone to lean on, call myself, call Sal, call Derry. We are all weirdly available. Not to steal a line from Prime, but I ain't hard to find. I'm real easy to figure out where I'm at. I give my phone number to pretty much anybody and I'll talk to a wall. So believe in yourself, believe that you can do it. I believe all successful people start with an undeniable belief that they will be successful in life, at their family, with their children, in their careers and successes. And I don't believe that if you start off, like you said, with the choice of not believing in yourself, that you're ever going to achieve what you can. So with that,
Can
find
I add,
somebody. Yes.
Can I add something to that? Including yourself. And don't let other people dictate what you consider success too. Like I could, if I never make a dime writing songs, if I live for the rest of my life being a poor man, just working for charity, and I'll probably end up opening a restaurant at some point and all that stuff. Like, that doesn't mean I wasn't a successful songwriter. Like, I've had artists cut my songs. I've written with Grammy Award-winning artists. I think Kid Rock's gonna cut one of our songs, which is pretty cool. I've done some really cool stuff. Yeah. If I never take it any further than I've taken it today, I can die a happy man. But I felt that way 10 years ago when I hadn't done shit either. Yeah. Because I love music. I love what I do. If you find something that you love, don't let anybody else's assumption of what success is be your thing. Like, I know professional musicians that you wouldn't believe what they do for a living, but they play music for a living, but they do it in an unconventional way. Yeah. So be your own cheerleader, do what you can, and more than anything, try and be of service, because when you're of service, you end up serving yourself more than anyone. Amen.
Amen.
Y'all know what to do. Find somebody you know. Tell them you love them.
Amen to that. Sal, how can people find you, get your music, book you for shows, all of the above?
Yeah, Sal G Music on all social medias. I run all of my own social media, so if you want to book me, you can reach me through there. If you want my music, you can go everywhere music is sold, Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, you name it. If they got a place to market it online, I think my place sells it there. So
love it. Absolutely love it. Guys, look, we are going to have the Veteran Barbecue Bash like we did last year. We moved it to the spring of 2025. So here in a few months, we're going to start planning that. So I can confidently say that I'm going to be calling Sal to come play with us because that is he played for us last year. It was an absolute blast. Huge event that we like to put on, and it all goes back to helping the prevention of veteran suicide with our nonprofit called Minutes Wisely. So
Love it.
pretty cool event, pretty cool deal. You'll see more of Sal coming soon. When's your new album drop?
Early next year.
First
I don't know
quarter
exactly
of
when.
25?
Yeah, first quarter of 25.
All right. I
Still
can
working
tell
on it.
you
I'm looking forward to that one. Was it 1 Foot on the Bar Stool? Is that
Yeah.
That's going to be a killer song.
I can tell you from what I've heard so far, you're not going to want to miss this. So, look, guys, if you want to get involved, please feel free to reach out to me at charlie@singletreebbq.com. You can call me at 615-307-0120. All my socials are at singletreebbq. Please like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, guys, we will see you then.
See ya. Be good.
Boom.
Thanks for joining us today. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, leave us a 5-star review and come see us at the restaurant.